to defend Spanish pit with lead. Now, if there's any yellow bellies among you, get out now.
A yellow belly is a coward. The term yellow to refer to somebody who's cowardly is a pretty old concept. Additionally, the belly is considered to be the center of courage. So it's fairly natural that the term yellow belly, cowardly stomach, became associated with being cowardly or being afraid. Additionally, there's a bird which is called the yellow-belly, which actually has a yellow belly. And so the idea of being a coward also became associated with the bird too. Presumably you could say somebody's a yellow-backed coward, and I imagine that some people do that. They say he's got a yellow stripe down his back. So this is a different location of the yellow, but the idea is still the same. It's a cowardly person associated with the color yellow. So you can say that somebody is yellow-bellied, which would be an adjective, or you could say somebody is a yellow-bellied coward. In this case, it's also an adjective, or you could call somebody a yellow belly, which would be a noun. In addition, the idea of yellow-bellied also became associated with people who were treacherous and people that are traitors. And you'll also see that today where people will call terrorists, they'll call them cowardly, even though they actually kill themselves in the process, which does not seem so cowardly. But the idea of just doing bad things is also associated with being cowardly. So if somebody's a spy, you would say they were a cowardly spy or a cowardly traitor. And I think the idea there is that they're supposed to be loyal, so they're supposed to be courageous enough to hold on to loyalties which we consider to be worthwhile. There is some question as to why yellow is associated with cowardice, but the most common sense explanation is that when people become afraid, typically what will happen is all the blood will leave their face. So rather than their face having a reddish tone, it will tend to have a yellow tone. There's other possible explanations for where the yellow came from. One is it came from a hurling team, which was a sporting team who wore yellow clothes. And so one of the jeers against this team was that they were yellow. And then there's also the bird, which became associated with cowardice. And in addition, people from Texas, apparently it was noted that Mexican soldiers, their uniforms were yellow. So as a derogatory term against the Mexican soldiers, they called them yellow. There was also a yellow dog, which is oftentimes mixed breed dogs will take on a yellow cast or a yellow color. So, and then mongrel dogs were considered to be sort of cowardly because they weren't treated very well. So these dogs also became associated with yellow as an expression of cowardice. Okay, so in this context, there's a leader of a group of men who are to act as soldiers against some other adversary, and the leader says that if there's any yellow-bellied men here, he wants them to leave. He does not want them to participate in the fight. Back during the Second World War, the Soviets, they had a way of dealing with yellow bellies. If anybody turned around and went in the wrong direction, they just shot them down right there for being yellow. Similarly, during World War I, in France, a lot of these soldiers, they didn't want to rush out of those trenches and go attack the other people with machine guns shooting at them. So they just shot down any yellow bellies right in the trenches. ESL-fullsteamahead.com